Is that what we're trained to do now?
There it is.
There we go.
Hello. Okay, are you ready? If they're not careful, they're going to sit up here with me. Welcome to the April 11th meeting of the Oakland Mayor and Council meeting. Roll call.
Mayor Schwager.
Here.
Councilman Bialy.
Here.
Councilman Knapp.
Here.
Councilman Kamala.
Here.
Councilman Levy.
Here.
Councilman Pignatelli.
Here.
Councilman Talamini.
Here.
At this time, I ask you to stand to salute to the flag. Remain standing for a moment of silence. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. Be seated, please. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law, duly announced, advertised, and posted in the municipal building. Oh, there should be seats. Are there enough seats?
On the side.
As we start our meetings, I give a mayor's report, and we have many activities in Oakland in the next couple of weeks and the next few months. Don't forget, this weekend is the big senior artist. That's okay. I can talk loud. The big senior artists are display at the library. There's a reception on Saturday, April 14th at the library at 1 o'clock. And so not only will you get to see artwork by our seniors in town, but you get to see our newly renovated library, which is really very nice. And on April 24th at the Senior Center, we're celebrating two very special senior citizens, Angelo Chisano, who's called the Ambassador of Goodwill at the Senior Center, and Josie Berkowitz, who is 103 years old. So that's a very exciting day at the Senior Center. Also, for all New Jersey residents, remember, after June 2018, your Social Security number will not appear on your new Medicare cards. So please beware of scams. Do not respond to calls or letters. And if you have any questions, we have so many police that you can call and ask about that. So please be careful about scams. Saturday, April 21st, from 9 a.m. to noon, we are going to have Team Up to Clean Up Oakland's Parks. Rain date is April 22nd, meeting at Valley Middle School cafeteria at 9 a.m. All children must be accompanied by an adult, and then afterwards, lunch will be served at Stewart's Woods Park. There will be an oak tree planting dedication. You can register to clean up at ec@oakland-nj.org. On Tuesday night, May 8th, is the Ladies Auxiliary of the Fire Department for their annual Strawberry Festival, and I can vouch for it, it's excellent. It's from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Yorpo Avenue Firehouse. You can go on the website to find out about getting tickets, or you can go that evening. Today, I was very, very lucky. I was honored to be invited to, we have a Japanese day school in Oakland, and they have graduation services, and they have a different school year. Their school year starts today. It ended a month ago. They go until the summer. They take a few weeks off, then they go on again. So that's the way their school calendar year is. And so today was the opening ceremony. It's just remarkable. I'm so proud that this Japanese day school is in Oakland. They're just wonderful, wonderful people. And I would always encourage anyone to go visit them. They're very warm and opening, and they will be very happy to greet you. Save the dates. On Sunday, April 29th is Autism Awareness Day, sponsored by the Bergen County Department of Parks, Department of Human Services, and Division of Disability Services. It's on Sunday, April 29th. at the Van Zorn Park/Zoo. There'll be free admission, train rides, carousels, and animal demonstrations. So I'll remind you again at the next council meeting. And as we were talking about earlier, paper shredding, our regular paper shredding will occur. The next date is Saturday, May 12th, from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. in our municipal lot. And I encourage everyone, if you're worried that you have documents and you're worried about leaving them there for shredding, you can stand there and they will shred while you're standing there. So that's Saturday, May 12th, in our municipal lot, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. So start gathering up all your documents that you want shredded. And a special thank you, a shout out to Chopper Russo at Remax, because many of the dates that I find out about or remember about, as a reminder, he does a public service and he sends out these cards. So when you see them in the mail, Chopper sends them out at his expense, not a taxpayer expense. I'm sure there's advertising. I will not talk about his advertising on the card, but he does talk about the events of the town, and he's the chair of our public events committee, so he reminds everybody about the public events activities. And so thank you, Chopper, at your expense for helping us in the community. So at this time, we have a very special night. We have a proclamation that I signed and I will read on behalf of the Sikh community. So this April, in case you're not aware, April is Sikh Awareness Month. Whereas both the United States Constitution and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey affirm the rights of all citizens to freely exercise their religious faith. Whereas the State of New Jersey recognizes Sikhism as the 5th largest religion in the world, with over 500,000 practitioners in the United States. Whereas Sikhism is a monotheistic faith founded 500 years ago in the Punjab region of Southeast Asia by Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Whereas Sikhs in New Jersey pursue diverse professions and walks of life, making rich contributions to the economic vibrancy of our state as farmers, engineers, teachers, doctors, scientists, business owners, and more. Whereas Sikh Americans continue to make strides towards promoting religious liberty, diversity, and military service as patriotic members of the United States Armed Forces. Whereas Sikhism preaches a message of devotion, truthful living, selfless service, equality of mankind, and a dedication to helping those who cannot help themselves. Whereas the Sikh holiday of Baisakhi marks the birth of the Sikh diaspora, known as the Khalsa, who are tasked with defending the defenseless and encouraging all people to live fearlessly while upholding core values of love, service, courage, sacrifice, honesty, and equality. Whereas the celebration of Baisakhi involves performing selfless service, seva, and providing free meals, langar, to people from all walks of life, regardless of their caste, creed, or religion. Therefore, the Borough of Oakland is honored to recognize and proclaim April 14th, 2018 as Baisakhi Day, and wish the Sikh American community a joyous Baisakhi. And welcome to our community. We look forward to you opening your temple, and we are so excited to have you as part of our community, and congratulations. This is the proclamation.
Thank you.
No, thank you for being here.
Thank you. Smile.
You're allowed to smile, yes.
And make sure he goes to church every time. Temple.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Now, you are welcome to stay, but you could leave. You won't be insulted. Oh, yes, yes. if the microphone is in the ceiling, correct?
Yes.
So,
Right at the podium.
did you move the podium back to the spot?
That's
You
good.
know?
No.
That's the smoke detector.
Okay,
That's good.
So,
Hi. Today I'd like to share my
You have to
expe-
give us your name.
Hi, I'm Pratika Dua. Today I'd like to share my experience of being a Sikh in Oakland. We moved here around 2 years ago, and the Oakland community welcomed us with open arms. My parents moved to Oakland because they knew our family could have a good life in this beautiful town that promoted equality and accepted people of all faiths. I love going to school here in Oakland with all my friends. Although they were curious about me having long hair and wanted to know why I have never cut my hair. But once I explained that keeping long hair is a symbol and belief of Sikhism, they have always respected that. I find myself to be very fortunate for getting such religious freedom. While I hear some stories about Sikh kids getting bullied in some parts of America. Nowadays, in some places in America, we hear hate crime stories towards Sikhs. That is really unfortunate, but here in Oakland, my father wears his turban with happiness and pride because people in Oakland have never made him feel uncomfortable and always given us freedom of expression. And that is the American dream everyone wants to live. I would like to take this opportunity to thank people of Oakland, and especially the mayor, Ms. Schwager, to make Oakland a society inspired by love and compassion rather than fear and hate. I am proud to be a Sikh American in this beautiful town. Thank you, and God bless this great country.
Thank you.
my name is Karamjit Singh Sidhu. I represent the Sikh community from the Guru Nanak Mission and the Board of Trustees. I want to thank you from our community, from our congregation to the mayor, to the councilman, administration, and the law service in the town for giving us a wonderful time to be here today with you to celebrate this month and keeping in tradition from our heart, from our soul. Thank you very much to the town and the community in the town. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, respected councilman, and council. I was asked to just give you guys a sense as to who we are, where we're coming from. My name is Dr. Sandeep Singh. I'm a cardiologist and a member of the Oakland congregation. From a big picture perspective, I wanted to just give you guys a flavor as to what the Sikh community was about, what we plan on doing, and what our current activities and future activities are. The Sikh community is a community that was born about 500 years ago, so it's a relatively new faith on this planet. If you think about where faiths have come from, thousands and thousands of years old, the Sikh community is a relative newcomer. It was born in about 1500 or so with the namesake of our temple, Guru Nanak. So Guru Nanak was the first of 10 prophets who came onto this planet to spread his message, and it really started off in a society of confusion with regards to what spirituality was. People were practicing things in very ritualistic manners and were not thinking about the greater picture, in other words, connecting to God. So he came about and actually upended society at the time. At the time, major discriminators were in place. Women were not allowed to practice any religion. Women were not allowed to hold jobs. Women were not allowed to do anything professionally. Women were considered, in some people's words, they were considered the sole of the shoe. They were that inferior in their view. Our founder, Guru Nanak, came onto this earth and said, one of his most notable lines were, "Why would you call a woman inferior when she gives birth to kings?" So it was a statement with regards to equality. He extended that equality by talking about society in general. The caste system in India was also a very major factor in how people were treated. People were considered untouchables. In other words, if an untouchable walked in front of someone of a higher caste and cast a shadow that person of the higher caste would feel the need to go shower. So that's how people were treated, and to some extent, even in India today, that is still the case. Again, one of the main tenets of his teachings were that we are all equal, regardless of caste, creed, language spoken, color of skin, regardless. You know, one of our main statements, and if you on our sign in front of our temple, it says, "Recognize all humanity as one." So we don't discriminate, and we don't profess our faith to be any more superior or inferior than any other faith. We just think it's yet another option. It's a faith that has its own independent thought process that shares many properties with other faiths in general. So, you know, I wanted to give you guys at least a sense in terms of what our teachings were and what we were planning with regards to the new temple that's here. One of the main aspects of what we wanted to accomplish were in addition to executing the basic tenets of our faith, we also wanted to integrate significantly with the community within which we are now allowed to practice. You know, one of our basic tenets that we've utilized and enforced in the past has been the service to those in need. We would love to be able to service the surrounding community, Oakland and its greater community, with food products, with clothing, with whatever else we can muster in order to help those who don't have the basic needs. Millions of Americans in this country are on food stamps and live below the poverty lines. These are not the people who are walking around begging on the street corners. These are people who live in homes and who have cars, and unfortunately are making decisions such as, do I pay the bills for the month, i.e. utilities, or do I go and buy groceries? So one of the things that we want to do is to try and have an expanded food and clothing pantry within our temple so that we can assist with those in need from wherever they're from, both within and without our community. We're also very much interested in integrating with whatever support that this community needs. You know, we want to be a part of the fabric. We do not want to be considered, you know, some places treat their own society as what's within those four walls. That's not how we want to operate. Our walls need to be transparent. People need to be able to come in, find out who we are, and also see what we are by our actions. And one of the actions has to be to integrate with the community within we live. The police, the fire, the EMS. You know, we need to support all of those services. And frankly, we are happy to do that in any way, shape, or form that we can. And I'm thrilled to have to be able to say that in front of the police force here. You know, a highly recognizable, highly sought after, highly prized possession of any community. And you know, as I said, we will indeed support that in any way, shape, or form that we can. You know, whether there's a Christmas-related toy drive. Whether there is a soup kitchen, anything at all that is out there. If you don't see us as a part of it and you think that it fits with our, mode of thinking as far as trying to help whoever needs help, feel free to even reach out. But you can be sure that we will be looking out for those types of opportunities to help. Additionally, if there is anything that you guys feel as though we need to take a new direction, and we're all open. We're not here to just practice within our own four walls, as I said. So again, I wanted to thank you for the opportunity to speak here, and I wanted to thank you again for the gracious welcome into the Oakland community, and we hope to be here for a long time serving both us and you. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Next up and last speaker, just really briefly. I'm sorry.
Doctor, I just wanted to share and give testimony to the fact that I'm with the Bergen County Housing Authority. One of our divisions is the homeless shelter. And I know for a fact that the Sikh community spends several days a year coming in and sharing the food prepared by you guys to the homeless people of Bergen County. You are part of those organizations that make it a regular opportunity to reach out to the entire community.
For the sake of time, I didn't want to tell you guys about what we've already done. But indeed, you'll see that as an even more visible force.
Yes.
Now that we're here and with more numbers.
And I must share with you that when we used to have our center of attraction in Oakland used to be the post office with Frank Leone. Well, now it's transferred to a little phone shop. And that's the center of attraction in New Jersey now. You always find somebody in the back of the store talking about what we can do for the community.
Awesome.
So thank you so much.
Looking forward to it.
Appreciate it.
Doctor, welcome.
Thank you. And lastly, but not least, we have one of our youth members, future custodians of our community here, who just wanted to share a few words. Harleen Kaur, who is a recent Barnard Columbia graduate, who is now also a member of the Sikh Coalition, which is a nonprofit organization based in New York City, out to, again, defend the rights of those who aren't standing up for themselves, as well as of the Sikh community. So she's going to share a few words.
Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Mayor Linda Schwager, council members, and members of the community, I would like to thank you all for this opportunity to address the council as you pass this Sikh Awareness Proclamation, Sikh Awareness Month Proclamation. I have the honor of being here as a local Sikh community member and also as a member of the Sikh Coalition, which, like Dr. Sandeep Singh said, is an organization that fights for the civil rights of all, not just Sikhs, anyone who feels there is injustice upon them. I am also a proud Sikh woman and a proud American. So on behalf of the Sikh community in Oakland, New Jersey, and nationwide, we thank you for taking this initiative and elevating the profile of the Sikh American community. Initiatives such as these, they're particularly important to us in light of Sikhs being targets of hate and racial discrimination, especially post 9/11. So your acceptance and celebration of our community means so much to us. As you have already heard, Vaisakhi is a celebration of the founding of the Khalsa, which is the community of initiated Sikhs, and also marks when Sikhs were given their distinct religious identity. So that day is coming up this Friday. So, or Saturday?
Saturday,
Yeah, this Saturday.
14th.
Yeah, the 14th. So, Sikhs have been in the United States for the past 100 years, and thousands of Sikhs even call New Jersey home. We believe in seva, selfless service, and equality of all, no matter caste, race, socioeconomic status, gender, sexuality, and ability. And we endeavor to bring these values in our everyday interactions with our neighbors and our community members. Please know that the local Sikh organizations such as Guru Nanak Mission and the Sikh Coalition, we appreciate your initiative with our community, and we want you to count on us as partners. So we have some information cards for you from the Sikh Coalition that we will pass out. So we appreciate your initiative with our community, so we want to tell you a little bit about ourselves as well. So I'll tell you a couple of quick facts. So there are over 500,000 Sikhs in America and around 25 million Sikhs worldwide. And the largest concentrations of Sikhs in America live in California, New York, and New Jersey. And interestingly, in America, 99% of the people you see wearing a turban are Sikhs. So further, the youth and the next generation of the Sikh community at Guru Nanak Mission, we're looking forward to being active members of the local Oakland community. We thank you once again for celebrating this important day and important month. And we're really excited to be a part of the Oakland community for this generation and generations to come. Thank you.
Welcome. Anybody else?
And let us not forget about your representative who serves as our Attorney General in the state of New Jersey now, Gravir Gruel.
Now, will he be a member of this temple or stays at Glen Rock?
He's basically, he'll be coming to both.
Okay, we'll get to see
The parents
him.
are associated with both.
Thank
so
you.
it's not a problem. And basically in the temple, there is no, they always
Thank you.
send. So everybody's free to go wherever they want to go and worship.
That's great. It's a beautiful, I went to the temple in Glen Rock. It's absolutely beautiful and just so warm, and the food, and they showed us, they gave us a tour of where you cook for everybody.
Sure.
Anybody who needs food can go there.
Sure. And I welcome the mayor and the council and law officers whenever you're free.
to come and eat?
Sheena cooking?
I also had the opportunity to join you at your temple.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think one of you, I wore a turban.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience, and the food was unbelievable.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Please stay, we have another ceremony right now, a very special ceremony, if you'd like to stay a little bit longer. And at this time, I'm going to ask Councilman Knapp to read Resolution 18-184, approve promotion to lieutenant.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Whereas the Borough of Oakland has a vacant lieutenant's position due to a recent promotion, and whereas Sergeant Timothy Keenan has qualified for the promotion per the rules and regulations of the New Jersey Civil Service Commission, and whereas the Borough Administrator, Public Safety Committee, and officer in charge have recommended that Sergeant Keenan be promoted to fill the open lieutenant's position, and whereas the council believes it is in the best interest of the department and community to promote Sergeant Keenan, now therefore be it resolved by the governing body of the Borough of Oakland that Sergeant Timothy Keenan be promoted to the rank of lieutenant effective today, April 11, 2018. Be it further resolved that Lieutenant Keenan's compensation shall be $138,312 pursuant to the PBA collective bargaining agreement. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy?
Yes.
Councilman Knapp?
Yes.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman Levy?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
That's it.
You forgot?
Councilman, I forgot you.
I don't vote.
I know.
Well, in order to be the lieutenant, you have to take the oath of service, oath of office. And we need someone to hold the Bible. The whole family. Everybody coming up? What about you? They can come up. You want to come up and hold the Bible? But it's very heavy. I don't know. Where is it? Where is it?
All these cops here and you stole the Bible?
What happened to the Bible? Oh, wait a minute.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, they hit it.
That's because they had caught
They
this.
put it in the
That's right,
safe.
Because of court. Now, it's very heavy. Do you need help holding this? Okay, left hand, ready? And I'll say you so help me God at the end, okay?
I'm sorry?
At the end, so help me God. If you don't want to say it, it's okay.
I'll say.
Ready? I, in your full name,
I, Timothy Keenan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and the governments
and the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
the office of Lieutenant of the Oakland Police Department
of the office of Lieutenant of the Oakland Police Department
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. No, don't hit him, don't get him hurt. Okay, come sign, make it official. You want to see? Lieutenant. Address.
Of course.
Miracle address. Thank you very much. Was this your pen? My pen. Okay, thank you. And that is it.
Congratulations, good luck.
Congratulations. So at this time, just so everybody knows, we have a full meeting. Your choice, you could stay, you could leave, well, you could just sit here for a while.
It's not that interesting. Thank you. Take care. His mom.
We'd love to have you on the price my phone out when I'm doing all the
See what happens.
Thank you so much. I want to show you what she got me. Is that not special? Is that not? She got on Amazon. I have one as a gift.
Next generation.
No one wants to stay.
Are you really? At the end of the year, we're gonna be 75 degrees, you'll get it.
Okay. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wish to speak? This is the time, come right up.
Thank you, I didn't expect that, I have to wait.
Name and address.
Jerry Johnson, 40 Lakeshore Drive,
Hello.
33-year resident here.
Welcome.
Reason for my coming is problem with senior citizens losing a lot of money. I've been a tax accountant for a lot of years. About half of my clients have been in Oakland. I'm just trying to think, it started this, I guess it must have been about 6 years ago when the county and Trenton, I think, tried to push through some tax raises. And one of the things they did as a side thing was to allow this program to freeze for seniors. So whatever they were paying, I think, I forget the exact year, it was about 6 years ago, then no matter how much it was raised, they would always just get that particular amount they had to pay. So that was it. I dealt with a lot of clients, particularly older ones as years have gone on, because I'm 86, so you figure by that time.
You look great.
By that time, my clients are all dying. But anyway, I retired. But I still hung on to the older people. So now I just really deal as about 10 people, 85 and up, that I'm handling. What's happening here is, I think we're losing thousands, maybe $100,000 or more with them.
where this came about, I really wasn't too aware of it because I took care of my people. About 3 months ago, I think the chief guy in for the county, I don't know, what's his name?
The county executive?
County executive came and gave a talk. And near the end of it, I asked him, I said, you know, I heard rumors that they might be kind of cut back on that senior thing. Did you hear anything about this? He said, no, pretty much going to go through. That was the end of that. Meeting ends, everybody's leaving. I get this charge. All these senior citizens coming. What's this blue book thing? You know, what's this rebate? So all of a sudden I realized, I said, wait a minute, you don't get one? You know, I mean, so that's why I'm here. All of a sudden I realized, I never thought of it before, but so many people, and now I'm finding out later because they're referring me to their friends, they are not getting the blue book, they're not getting a rebate.
Could you hold up the book so it'll be on
Yeah, in
television?
case people,
It's
I guess you guys are,
2017 Form PTR2, that's the name of the book.
yeah, I guess you people are mostly under 65, so you're not gonna be.
Thank you.
You-
John?
But it'll get on the good side, and stuff like that. Anyway, that's why I'm here. And it's a real problem because I don't know what the solution is, but you can see what's going on here. A lot of these people are very old, and they get this thing, what's this, you know, practically going to toss it. And I don't know what we can do about it, but that is a problem. The other part of the problem is they're 63, okay? They cross 65. Nothing happens. You know, nobody knows. They're out of town, they move in, they're 65. These people don't know anything about this, you know. Now, this gentleman brought it here.
Isn't there also a maximum income?
Yes.
Yes, it's pretty high though.
81 or 82.
Yeah, most of the people are way down that have anything to do with. This is one I just put along as an example because there's another problem coming up for us. This Audrey Jeffrey, who's over on Chickasaw, $5,182. She's getting back, you know, because of this. She's in the
Just
hospital.
remember we're televised.
Hmm?
Just remember you're on television.
Oh, yeah? Oh.
But this is for the freeze, correct?
Yes, they call it.
But I don't
they-
do with names, you know.
They
Yeah,
started
no,
out
I mean,
with
they
the-
get a rebate if they,
They started out as a rebate, they changed the name about now it's the freeze.
Okay.
It's all the same thing
okay.
that keeps
I
going.
just wanted to be careful
Oh,
on
absolutely.
disclosure.
No names.
On disclosure,
Oh,
because we're on television.
Oh, okay, yeah, no other names will be mentioned. So
You
that's
can
sort of
use
the
initials.
situation. People are falling through the cracks, and there's really thousands of dollars here. I mean, 5,000 is not unusual, and they're not getting it, you know, because of this. I don't know, somehow there's got to be a system of reporting this, because these,
Have you talked to Rose at the senior center about getting this information out? You should talk to Councilman John Bialy, because he's the
That's right.
liaison, that's John right
Yeah.
here. He's the liaison to the Senior Citizens
Hmm.
Center and the group. Maybe we could come up with a plan to
Yeah.
communicate all this information.
I
which
did
would be
mention to
very
Rose
helpful.
at the thing, but.
Well, maybe talk to Councilman Bialy, or he'll get in touch with you, or you contact
Yeah.
him and work on a plan to communicate all this.
Yeah, I don't know, it has to come through somewhere from you guys official, that these people are now here, they are below the proper income.
Right.
They should be getting this. So, again, you guys, just like me, were totally unaware of this until a couple of months ago, because I thought everybody was getting this, you know. Now I'm finding out lots of them.
Can I just ask a quick question?
Sure.
Is this something that you have to ask for, or is it something that they automatically let you know when you turn 65?
No, apparently they're not automatically.
No.
Okay.
That's the trouble.
That's the government's plan.
Yeah, this comes from Trenton, I think, the Blue Book itself, as far as when we do have a problem here in Oakland, too. This is the bad part at the end of it.
Another problem?
Same part of the same thing, of why people are not getting through. I talked to one of the older women, 90. I said, did you bring that thing in I filled out for you? You know, I usually fill out most of these for really older people. And she said, no, when I went down to the town hall where the tax clerk has, there was nobody there. So I said,
Just a
okay.
minute. Mr. Kunz?
Yeah, no, I can tell you, there's always somebody there. There isn't always somebody there to fill out the form immediately. But what we've been doing is we've been taking them, filling them out, and letting people know when they're ready so they can come in and pick them up.
Yes, that was the next woman I talked to. She went down there and there was somebody there who said that, just what you said, you have to come back in a week. She was
week?
94.
In a week?
Yeah,
To speak
they
to
told her to come
someone?
back next week. Yeah,
To speak to someone?
to get the
There's a
paper filled out.
part of the form that the borough has to fill out.
Oh, okay.
The borough has
Okay.
to sign it. See, I probably don't have to mention it, but this thing has 3 pages before you ever go down there, and it's a little overwhelming for a lot of these
It's
senior
a typical
people.
government form.
Yeah, it's a problem for them.
Have you given a talk at the senior center about this?
No.
Well, maybe you should talk to Rose, talk to Councilman Bialy,
Yeah.
and that would be an excellent program for the senior center.
I did mention it to Rose. The woman I said who was 94 went down there, the second person I checked up on. It was, leave the paper here, come back in a week. That seems simple. When someone's 94, either they're not driving, or they shouldn't be driving, and 2 trips is tough. Some of them try to depend on other relatives. Now, I got to tell you, Monday morning, I went down there, I brought 2 things down with me to have signed and filled out belonging to other people. And I was told, there was a woman at the, I said, can you fill these out? Oh, no, only the tax person, whoever is, can fill those out. So I said, oh, well, what? Oh, she won't be in until next Monday. I said, next Monday? I said, one of these women is in the hospital, and she's really old, bad shape. I had her daughter come all the way from out of state to come sign for her, fill out, and I said, come back next week. Seems simple. Somebody should be there.
Well, just so, not to make excuses, and just so you know, our person who sits at the tax collector's desk, who's always there, unfortunately had surgery. So he is out, and actually he's in a rehab center right now.
Yes, he is.
Post-surgery. So right now, what we have there, we're shorthanded. And the woman who used to be the tax collector has come in a little bit to help us out. So this is really a tough time.
Yeah.
Normally, you would not find that there's nobody at the window. Patrick would always be there. But, he did have surgery, and he's
Yeah.
in,
You can see, I'm just presenting the problems to you guys. I'm not a solver. It's just, taking my time. But that's kind of bad. I go in and told next week.
Well, I just explained what happened.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
You don't have to give me the excuse. The thing is,
It's not an excuse, it's a
somebody,
fact.
somebody else should be able to stamp that
Well,
thing.
is it just the tax person who fills it out, or?
That's what they told, the woman there told me, only the tax person can do this.
Well, like I said.
And she won't be back for a
all
week.
right, at this point, if you talk to Councilman Bialy and you talk to Rose at the senior center, maybe you could set up a little meeting and find out if there's somebody else who could fill out these forms too, on what has to be done.
I can
So
fill the
while
forms, but they gotta get them.
While Patrick is in rehab.
There, I think there is part of the form that has to be signed off on by the tax collector. Normally the tax clerk would fill them out and the tax collector would sign off on them.
And she's only here,
Yeah, she was in this evening.
yes, I spoke to her this evening.
Yeah.
We're redoing,
Oh, fine.
speak to Councilman Bialy.
Yeah, okay, as long
Okay,
as
and I
somehow
thank you.
a lot of it gets done because.
Thank you for all this information tonight.
Yeah, lots of
Very much
bucks being
appreciated.
lost by the senior citizens.
No, thank you.
So, okay,
You're welcome to stay.
I'll wait a little bit.
All right. You can listen about recreation, they're gonna do a little presentation.
Leaving my card.
Oh, Neil's gonna say.
Would anybody else like to
See,
speak?
I am,
No? I'll entertain a motion to close.
The
So moved.
Second.
It was just a
All in
matter of
favor?
none of us knew anything about this, that they were losing.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
It was, I do
Okay.
have it on my.
All
list of
right, we
things
have
to
some
do.
minutes to go
So-
through, and then we have our,
It's my cell phone.
we'll get to recreation very shortly, very shortly. You have minutes from the March 23rd special meeting. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Will there be any discussion? If none, roll call.
Councilman Bialy?
Yes.
Councilman Knapp?
Yes.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman Levy?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Abstain.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
There is the minutes from the March 28th council meeting. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Then roll call.
Councilman Bialy?
Yes.
Councilman Knapp?
Yes.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman Levy?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Calamity?
Yes.
This is from the budget meeting of Monday, April 2nd, 2018. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy?
Yes.
Councilman Knapp?
Yes.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman Levy?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Calamity?
Yes.
We have appointments. And this person handed in a citizen leadership form. It's in your packet. Before I bring up the name, it was sent to the Environmental Commission, and so I'm offering the name of David Blank for for the Environmental Commission. Is this fine?
So moved.
Second.
And,
Is
Roll
it your
call.
appointment? Or council? Which is it?
this is just environmental right now, then the green team, which is the sustainable. So this is for the green team, and it'll be the alternate 2 position. Right? Yes, that's what's
Blank is for
available.
the Environmental Commission.
The environmental.
Oh, and Green. Oh, he also wants to be on Green.
Right, but we're doing one at a time, just in
Okay.
case there's
Okay.
any. Okay, roll call.
Councilman Bialy?
Yes.
Councilman Knapp?
Yes.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman Levy?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Calamity?
Yes.
And the good news is, the same person, David Blank, wants to also be on our green team known as the Sustainable Oakland Committee. It's a mayoral appointment, so I hereby appoint David Blank to the green team. Is David here? No.
No.
But he's been to the Environmental Committee,
Yes.
Commission, and Nancy said go for it. Thank you. Raffle license, 1332. This is from Indian Hills High School, and it is 4 raffles on May 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 11th. It's to provide scholarships to graduating seniors in performing arts area. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? None. So, and that, you have your raffle license. Recreation budget, you're on.
Approved.
Oh. Usually you get us to sit, but because you couldn't
Sorry.
come to the,
Hi, my name is Neil Malmud. I'm the treasurer of the Oakland Recreation Commission. And we work on the budget with the commissioners and with Rich and his staff. For the calendar year 2018 year, we're requesting $467,450, which is about approximately 6% less than last year, roughly about $29,000. Most of the reductions in the OE budget are due to lower enrollment. Mike asked me, I did a little analysis from back in 5 years ago, 2013. We had roughly a little over 4,000 children registered throughout all programs. For 2018, we're projecting a little under 3,200. It's roughly about a 20% drop over the past 5 years. The other big decrease is in our summer counselor staff. 2 reasons: less counselors due to some lower enrollment, which we had last year, and also a majority of the counselor staff are at the entry level, incoming 9th graders, junior counselors. A lot of the experienced staff who are in college, as they get towards their junior and senior years, are getting college internships over the summer, and unfortunately are taking those positions and not working at the camp, which is unfortunate because we have experience, but we understand why this is happening. This coming year, we have some new initiatives. One, which maybe Mrs. Saliani will speak about, we're going to a management and registration system, which I guess we'll talk about and be presented, which was included online, which was included in the budget this year. Also, for summer camps, we are trying to start a new program, which is an extension of our summer camp. Not run through the existing summer camp where the camp director is Mr. Mark Durando. What we're attempting to do is we're using an outside vendor who will operate a camp on our grounds for the last 2 weeks in August, which will provide various sports programs and activities to children who are staying in Oakland, and parents are looking for some activities for them to do. This was basically brought to our attention by parents who are, gee, the last 2 weeks of August, you know, what are we going to do? So we're experimenting this year. We've discussed it with Rich. It's not included in the budget because, again, this program can take off and could be a significant add to the budget, and we're talking about 30 to 40, 50,000, or it could be small. We don't know, because basically right now we're just responding to requests that we've gotten from parents, but we couldn't quantify and say, in most cases I can say based upon prior experience, like we've added baseball camp. He used to run the camp at the high school. I had his registration for the past couple of years. I can come to Rich and say, we're expecting about this number. We want this in the, you know, with your approval, this in the budget. We have no experience with this. This is the first time we're trying this.
Is this the program that Jen Latera is working on?
Yes, it's the program
Yes.
she's working on. It's, and the outside vendor is the person who runs our golf program. So someone we have experience with, we've used them before. It's also budget neutral, as Neil said.
Correct.
If we get 5 people, if we get 500 people, it's still not going to cost recreation anything.
Or the borough.
Or the borough, obviously.
Right.
And so it's budget neutral one way or another.
Correct. He understands that. If he's getting paid per registration. It's not a guaranteed amount, and he gets less or he gets more. It's per registration. So we do well, we're covered.
I know there was an issue. What happens if it rains? Did you settle
We're having-
that?
Well, the schools told us no.
I heard.
So first we're gonna do our signups. And then if we have a small number, we can possibly use the Danny Leah building. If we have a larger number, we have to go back to schools and ask, you know, if it rains, because the issue we're hearing is that they prep the building for school those last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So if they're prepping the buildings, if it rains a day here or a day there, you know, those 3 rooms over there you could use, or those 3 rooms over there. I mean, we're not picky, it's just, we need to use the borough's facility some way or another. So I said to Jen, let's see the numbers, and then afterwards we'll go back, I'll have a conversation with the schools and see what.
Now,
we
when
can
is
do.
registration for that?
Registration, I believe, is this month. I know regular summer camp is running right now or this month. I believe they're going to piggyback.
Now, are you going to have a deadline? Or are you going to continue the registration up until?
This one's easier to continue. Summer camp, the summer camp program with Mark, it's just difficult because we have to buy food, we have to buy supplies, we have to buy tickets for trips.
And hire counselors.
And hire counselors. And that 1 year, it was also everybody, we had all these signups at the last minute. And we didn't have enough counselors, we didn't have food, we didn't have enough anything. So we slowly transitioned over a year or two. You know, your last cutoff day is here, cutoff day is there, and now it's, like we had open camp closed last week. We already have things out purchasing. We can't have people come, you know, or orders, we can't have people come to
You're
us.
doing such a good job that you can't keep them away.
No, he does a great job. Summer camp is really, it's a phenomenal program, and so many kids participate in it. And I think the big drop-off, this 4,000 a couple years ago, it waxes and wanes with what the population is in the school. So right now, we're in a little bit of downside. I know we had a big population explosion, like when my daughter was there a few years ago. So it goes like this. So right now, we're a little on downside, but still, a lot of those kids will go to school, live in Oakland, will play, you know, or participate a week, or 2 weeks, or a couple weeks in the summer camp. So it's a phenomenal program. The kids can stay friends and continue to.
But this is great because a lot of the kids come back from either day camp or sleepaway camp, and the parents don't know what to do with them those last 2 weeks.
Right, that's what we've been asked.
Wonderful.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. And it's a different type of camp. It's not the same thing. It's different. It's sports camp. They'll be participating in basketball and baseball and softball and a bunch of different things. They'll eat. You know, again, if it rains, we'll have some activities hopefully in the schools for them. But it's something different. Well, let's try. Let's experiment and see what people like, and it's trial and error. And then hopefully next year we can even improve on it even more.
That's wonderful. I think it's great.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about the new online, or?
Steve, I don't know if you want ready to talk about it yet, but we're looking to get the sign-ups online, which is, The biggest thing that commissioners, coaches, as well as
Talk that
parents.
way, talk to him.
Yeah.
Online, computer,
It would
talk to
really,
Eric.
yeah, it would really be huge for us to have the online signups. And one of our, I'll give you an example, one of our commissioners did a sign up recently during the winter, I don't want to use the word, but dead of winter. It was cold, it was dark. She was down there by herself. And we didn't realize that.
Oh, at the Danny Delia building?
Danny did. I think the
Oh.
person who was going to help her didn't show up, so she was there by herself. And I think she even called the police because she was getting nervous. So there's several layers of how this is going to help us, and not having to have volunteers man or woman the
That's
the-
your job?
Staff.
Yeah, so.
Staff, thank you. I don't think
We're
it's
actually- We're actually kicking off with the vendor this week for our preliminary call. After that, I got information gathering deadlines. It typically takes about 60 days to get up and running. So I'll know more after meeting Friday, but we're ready to go. And Rich Coons helped me get this along, so I'll know more for the next meeting. And give you
Right. Steve runs soccer, our biggest program, and his sign-up's like now, so he needs to get it. So,
I'm really
motivated. Yeah.
And everything is being run through the borough.
Yeah.
Right, this is not that we're doing it, but this is being run through the borough in coordination with the borough, under the auspices of the borough and Rich, so.
Well, like everything else, we don't collect the funds. We take the checks and we give them
Right.
to the borough. And then we don't pay the vendors, the borough pays them. So we never really touch the money. And there's no layer, we're not going to be touching the money either. It's going to be going directly
Mayor,
into
this is just one more step in the initiative we started several years ago with the website initiative and everything else like that. Now we've got the vendors already been signed on for the online bill pay. And now the committee's just working on the back end of the website itself to get the details worked out, and then they should be live in about 60 days. So I mean,
So there's nothing online sign up yet?
Not yet,
Not
no,
yet.
but it was soon.
That would be good.
We're in the 2000s now, we're getting there. Yeah.
Okay.
You know?
Any,
That's it?
I just want to mention a couple of things about a couple of the capital projects, real quick. September 11th, as you know, we've had a memorial, we had the steel, we
Yes, I know.
got the steel from New York, from World Trade Center site, not to bore the whole story again, I've said it many times, but we're going to have a ceremony on September 11th, 6 o'clock in the evening we're working on. As we get closer, as the weather breaks, we're going to have a meeting and set up a good spot in Veterans Park where we can actually put this monument. This monument is going to be nice, and this is going to be a very nice evening for Oakland. You know, it's going to be, what, 17 years now since 9/11? It's still fresh. All of us who lived through it, it's still fresh. New York is right over here. But it's going to be a really nice tribute. We're going to, we'll start putting together the plans for it over the summer. But September 11th, I believe it's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
It's coincidentally was when that happened, was 2001 was a Tuesday. But we're going to have a very nice ceremony. Recreation's going to shut down that day. We're hoping to have a lot of things shutting down and people coming out and celebrating the life as well as remembering what happened. And we'll talk as we get closer about how the ceremony should be done.
That'd be
But the memorial is going to be, I've seen, it's beautiful.
Yeah, you've
Andy
seen
Haas did a lot of work on it. A lot of us put a lot of input into the type of materials that's going to be in it. So it's going to be nice, and it's going to be there for hopefully forever. A couple of really quick things. We're going to fix the curb in front of Danny Delia. That curb, that's been, thank you. The curb right now has got cones. It's been a little bit of a mess. We work with the police, and it's going to be brought out to be even with the road. It'll be much nicer. It won't be a hazard for cars parking there, a hazard for kids running back and forth. It's going to be a very nice addition by the Danny Delia building. We're going to be redoing the golf area. Been working with Jimmy. The weather's been bad, we haven't been able to do anything, but we hope to redo that whole golf area there. People don't know, we have a driving range, we also have a putting area and a little chipping area there. I'm not a golfer, I think those are the words, that's what they're called.
Talk to Councilman Bialy.
Yeah, I'm sure.
only on Fridays.
Not in a few weeks though.
That's right, he just said, he can't play golf for a couple of weeks now.
And we're hoping to add a new mural in that area too, regarding golf, so that's going to be a nice
Where?
addition. Again, these things are not costing the
Where?
town anything. It's behind Field 9 and the shed. There's an area there where there's a green and there's,
No, where's the mural going?
oh, we're probably going to put it somewhere on, there's a nice stone area there, somewhere along there where we have some artists working on it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Jen's actually working on that too.
And we have seniors who do fabulous painting, the senior center.
Oh, yeah, we can get
It
them.
would be nice to have, wouldn't that be nice to have the seniors help the young people?
Ask the seniors if they want to
Uh,
help.
We'll work on
That
that.
would be wonderful.
We'll talk about it at the art show on Sunday.
Nice, nice. Lighting detectors are going to be finally be fixed over at Wells and Truman Field. Thank you for your help with that. Thank you,
Yes.
Rich, too, for your help. They've been on standby. We hope to have them up and ready and running when the lighting season starts in May. The one down here in the Delia building works great, so we hope to have those up. Two small issues we've had. Well, one's large, is the rink, roller rink. I know someone came to the Borough Hall kind of complaining about it. We're doing a lot of work looking for grants. We're doing a lot of work. This is not going to, we're not asking the town for money. We're not asking, I'm saying again,
Well,
we're
just
not
so you
asking
know,
the
we
town.
now have a grant committee.
Nice.
So Lou, Eric, and Sandra.
And we, just Mayor, just for the record, Arlene's already engaged in this process and working on identifying a grant, actually writing up a grant. So, I mean, we're just waiting to hear something from the state.
We're not going to be asking the town for money. There's rumors spread. We're not asking the town to pay for a new rink. We're looking to
I
get
didn't
some
hear any
grants.
rumors.
Because they're not coming to you yet. And a lot of safety net. Yeah, I started right here. And the safety netting has ripped in many spots. Jimmy's getting us some prices on that, and we hope to have that fixed as soon as possible. And one last thing. Oh, the AEDs. We have 3 AEDs now down at the rec complex. Atlantic Health Systems has been training for free coaches. I know the entire Al had the entire football staff trained on how to use it. I think we had 30 people so far in the first bunch get trained. Jen's putting together another bunch to get trained in it. So as long as we have 1 or 2 people down there, if God forbid anything ever happens, 1 or 2 people know how to use it.
You want to tell them where the locations are?
Yeah, look it. Thanks.
How many we have now, Michael?
We have 3. We have one over by the rink, over by the summer camp shed there.
Right.
One against the Delia building. The one by the rink was paid for a few years ago. We purchased, I think it was kind of grants or whatnot. The Altana family donated the one over by the Dan Delia building.
Wow.
And Atlantic Health Systems donated the third one, which when the weather breaks, we're going to be putting that one up by the Field 8 lighthouse. So there's access in all aspects of the complex.
Do you need more?
We really could use one more, but let's.
We have a meeting with Chilton Hospital.
I was just thinking that.
We could
Yes,
use one by
next
Field
week
4, by
we have
Field
a
4.
meeting.
Just,
Yeah.
with the AEDs, the guy, I took the class the other, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, and he had mentioned that keeping the AED outside is gonna lessen the life of the battery.
That's been brought to our attention. Jason replaces them every 2 years. He does all of them. But we're going to speak over the summer about what we should do with these things in the wintertime. We need to, once the rink is up again, we'd like to keep one out there, even if we keep it maybe inside the summer
Right.
camp shed, but keep one there. But that's something we're definitely going to
Yeah.
be working on. I think we're good. Any other questions?
Anybody have any questions for recreation?
I'd just like to make a statement. You know, the work that these guys do and this commission does, and all the coaching and volunteers that are involved, I mean, this is really a big
Outstanding.
value proposition for this town and the residents.
Yep.
And even with the way that the rec commission responds to, you know, the residents saying, hey, I have a childcare problem, can you set something up for an additional couple weeks? I mean, it really shows the dedication that this entire committee
Thanks.
works with. And I
Jen
gotta tell you,
Laterra's
this is
been running with
this is
this.
one of my
She
favorite.
has been a very good commissioner, hasn't she?
Yeah. We have, the commission right now is, the past couple of years has been younger, in the sense that there hasn't been as many people around as long. There was a lot of newer people, and they've actually
I'm
are
glad
doing
you
a great
said
job.
newer than younger, that's.
I'm one of the older ones now. So the first came out, I wasn't. But it's so, but they're really learning the job, they're getting it, I'm giving them more responsibility, and they're taking on and running with it. I mean, Danielle took over, the second year took over the entire basketball program, which I think is our second biggest program, and she did a great job this year. There's always gonna be bumps on the road, and nothing is perfect. But we do the best we can, and as long as we, again, like I've said before, at the end of the day, we go to sleep and we know that we do the best we can. Do we make a right or wrong decision? Well, as long as we did, and we vetted it out, and we're trying to do what's best for the town, for the residents, for the kids, for the complex, That's all.
Listen, you can't always make the right decision, but if you make the wrong decision, you learn from it, then
And then we try to
good.
fix it. If we do make a wrong decision, which we have, we'll fix it.
I'll tell you, every rec season has been better. You know, I have 3 kids in it right now, and it's just an amazing program. It's just everything from, you know, whatever you name it. The programs just get better and better every year, and I mean, it's just awesome. And then please coach. We always need coaches. But also, and coaches, you get T-shirts. So
And a whistle.
And a whistle. Yeah.
Are you gonna whistle too?
No, really, it's a great thing. I'll tell you, coaching is one of the best things I've done in my life, and I never did any kind of sport in my life, and coaching is one of my favorite things that I do.
Neil's been coaching for a long time.
How many years?
Neil and I coached went back in the ice ages. That's how long ago.
But
He's retired and he's still working at rec.
But he still runs into people 20 years, 30 years later saying, "Oh, Mr. Mallon,
30 years.
thank you. I remember when you coached me, you never really know, what
Are you
effect having
refereeing,
somebody."
or still running up and down the basketball
A
courts?
little, not
Oh.
as much as I used to. But the funny part is I run into young women who are having children who I've coached, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, it is a pleasure and a privilege to be your liaison and working with you guys. It really is fantastic.
Thank you. No,
Outstanding
really
job,
appreciate it.
outstanding job.
Thank you.
Good service to the town. Great service to the town.
Cool. You good?
Thank you.
Thank
Anything
you.
else?
No other
Thank you.
questions?
That's it.
Nice.
Thank you.
Very good, thank you, guys.
And don't forget, we have our grants committee. Does anybody in the public wish to add anything about rec?
Did we have a public session yet?
Yes.
We did. We're gonna have another one, though.
Do you want to speak about rec?
We're gonna have another one.
No.
Do you want to leave? I mean, will it, do you want to stay to the end? We have another public.
No, yeah, I'm here for the public hearing part.
That's the next, in the end.
Great, okay.
We had one
We're
already.
gonna move quickly now, don't worry.
Okay.
We can do this in 10 minutes.
Yes, we will be very quick.
Challenge it. Make it 8.
Okay, resolutions.
Consent agenda.
We'll do it as a consent agenda unless you want to pull any out. 18182 is approved sidebar agreement with PBA regarding the dispatches which were discussed at length. Resolution 18185 is the temporary budget amendment which we must do before we pass the budget, and it's on the paper, so that we can write checks and send them out and pay bills. 18186 is the support for the CDBG funding. Again, it's a resolution asking for the fiscal year 2018 budget proposes the total elimination of community development block grant program, and this is a resolution supporting the continued funding. Resolution 18187 proposed guidelines for beekeepers. If you heard the council meeting from last week about beekeepers and the great presentation we have. So now we are asking for resolution to oppose the new proposed guidelines for beekeepers. 18188 is to authorize the 2018 ANJAC grant for open space stewardship project. 18189 is to authorize recreation refunds to Danielle Tlofsky, $62, and Diane LaSorsa, $62. And Resolution 18190 is consenting to the Water Quality Management Plan amendment. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Any, do you wish to pull out? If none, roll call.
Councilman Bialy?
Yes.
Councilman Knapp?
Yes.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman Levy?
Yes.
Councilman Dignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Calamini?
Yes.
This is an ordinance, final adoption for 18 Code 768 for the Cap Bank. Is there a motion to open to the public?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Does anybody wish to speak upon this, on this ordinance? I guess not, so is there a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is there a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman Bialy?
Yes.
Councilman Knapp?
Yes.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman Levy?
Yes.
Councilman Picciatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Calamini?
Yes.
Now, again, last week, if you listened to, not last week, the last council meeting, we had a very I thought it was interesting, fascinating program by the young girl, Abigail, on chickens. So, this is the work session item, about having an ordinance that will regulate chickens and, or deregulate chickens. And you have some sample ordinances from West Milford, that was adopted a while ago. And in Totowa, which was also adopted a while ago. Did everybody read the samples? Anybody have any suggestions? Anybody want to talk about it?
Yeah,
No?
I guess maybe to bring the council around, the way that chickens are regulated in Oakland is under our zoning ordinance. We're in residential zones. It basically indicates that the housing, breeding, raising, or keeping of any pigs, hogs, swine, cattle, or poultry is prohibited.
No cattle?
Except that the keeping of cattle and poultry shall be permitted in a residential zone for personal use only, provided that the lot upon which they are to be raised or kept has a minimum area of 1 acre. And also the number of cattle thereon shall be limited to 3 head per acre. So you have ordinances that I've given you samples that basically provide greater regulations if you have chickens, what the coop is, where the coops are supposed to be, how they're supposed to be maintained, and setback distances. We don't have any of that in our code. It would be governed by accessory structures. So you can deal with this simplistically, where we could segregate chickens from that provision of the ordinance and indicate that what the minimum lot size is, or you can be as specific as possible as you may want to be concerning chicken coops, number of chickens, etc. So the easy way out is to say chickens are permitted on, lots of less than, minimum size of a 1/4 acre. I don't know exactly
What
what
was
it
she on,
would
a
be.
half acre?
I don't remember.
She wanted a half acre.
Yeah, and it was a
half acre.
minimum of an acre.
And, that's a simple. If you want to, what I will call regulate and maybe over-regulate it, you have some samples.
Any,
I can appreciate what the young girl said at the last meeting that we had. Just that I think once we get the ordinance and publish it and have a public hearing as we are required to do, you may get people objecting to it at that time. I think their biggest fear that people are going to have is rodents if the property is not well kept. Obviously, there's going to be restrictions and rules and regulations requiring it to be kept in a sanitary manner. But I wouldn't mind publishing the ordinance so that we can get feedback from the public.
well, we don't have an ordinance, we only have samples of other ordinances. We would have, that's why it was sent to you to give some suggestions. I like the one that talks about the health rather than the size of the property, and because that could always, that can be regulated. I think the most important thing is health, and the questions and what I'm told when I talk to people about chickens, I learn more about chickens than I ever knew before, was roosters
Well, this.
and the sounds of the rooster.
Yeah, she said
Well, some of
that
these-
it would be prohibited to have a rooster.
Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, the chickens do cluck.
Female chicken species.
So I guess,
Hens.
And chicken hens?
Right.
Hens.
Hens.
Mayor?
Yeah.
I guess I got just a couple questions or concerns. Obviously, if we do look at an ordinance like this, are we looking to have it so that a person has to get a permit from the Department of Health or the town? So that, let's say there is a resident complaint for the health of chickens or any other fowl, that at least there's an enforcement arm? Or is this more just for us to simply say, hey, you're allowed to have chickens?
No, I think we should have permits. For example, you need to get a license for a dog, for a cat. And just saying you allow chickens, because remember when we had the young girl come, I forgot what you call the little pigs. What do you call the little pigs? The pot-belly pigs? You know, they walk on a leash?
Yeah.
I think we need to have a regulation, and to me, the most important group that should regulate is the health department.
I
Because I
agree,
think that's
yeah.
where it all stems from.
I agree, you should have a license, because if the person doesn't perform according to the ordinance, you can pull the license, and then they have to get rid of the hen.
I think the most
chicken.
important thing is the health.
And it says in
Health
one of
and
these
safety.
that the zoning officer would have to inspect the coop, or whatever you want to call it. I guess it's called a coop.
So I guess.
Well, maybe the health department could do that.
Well, I think it's structurally.
Oh.
I think it's about structure.
What was that, Lou?
Is the health department even qualified to
Look at a chicken?
inspect a chicken coop?
I don't know. I
Well,
don't know what a chicken.
the basic rule is that, that the manure is properly removed and disposed of, that there are no rodents, that there is no offensive odors off of the property. You know, you really don't need to be an agriculturist to enforce those rules, because they're pretty simple. You know, the health department does the same thing with keeping of dogs or
Well,
cats.
can I make a suggestion? Would this be something that the health,
We could ask them to comment.
to comment on
Sure.
a proposed ordinance, which
Sure.
this is not our proposed
Sure.
ordinance. This is just sample. And maybe the health department, not the department, the Board of Health,
Sure.
could make some comments, because I think that's where we really need to have
Absolutely.
control. Yes.
So now, Brian, you were saying, the easy way is just to say allow chickens,
You could-
on a certain, on a small lot, or whatever the lot size.
You can reduce 1 acre to a half acre. You have no regulations today
Right.
specific.
And then, but like, I'm just worried, somebody might put 20 chickens, and somebody, what's a reasonable amount of, of chickens,
I do affordable housing, so I don't know chicken density.
In favor of Abigail, I think we should keep it at 14.
Maybe Abigail could go to the Board of Health.
Very valid point, is because if you look at West Milford, which I happen to like.
Right.
Because I don't think it's overkill, but it really
I'm
covers
gonna say
everything.
with that
But-
overkill.
But it also regulates is that no more than 6 chickens shall be allowed on properties less than 1 acre. Now, Abigail, who was here, they apparently have 14 chickens, there are no complaints and the
Right.
like. So, I think the 6 is an arbitrary number in this, but, I don't know the right number. If you wanted my suggestion, I would incorporate the West Milford ordinance into a zoning ordinance, have a separate section for chickens, and that you're permitted to have them on a half acre, and the only problem that I would have is the number.
Right.
Well, I found it interesting in Totowa, because this was an old ordinance, they charge $1 a year per chicken.
Right. And I wouldn't even do a permit fee. I think that's just, who's going to do the permit? Is they going to go to the clerk's office and they're going to issue permits for chickens?
One per chicken?
It's,
No.
right.
They also have
Not per chicken, but a license to have chickens.
Just a license to have chickens.
Do you know they also charge $15 per pigeon loft?
Loft. You could have 200 pigeons in
Oh, in a loft?
The mayor?
Yeah.
Just a question, I'm looking at the West Milford ordinance here, and I'm looking at section 17-48.
Right.
And obviously,
Enforcement.
yeah, they're talking about the fact that you're gonna get input from the health department. Should they also get input from the zoning officer and construction official as well?
I think to me personally, I think the key is the health department.
Absolutely.
I really do. If they agree that everything is okay, health-wise and sanitary-wise, and
Well, I would give them a copy of this
Yes.
West,
as a sample, and then have
Right.
them,
Yeah, you know what, Mayor,
Do we want to maybe look at this almost on a case-by-case basis? I mean, we have Abigail's property, for example, I believe,
which is right near your property.
actually, yes, it is. So I do know that their property backs up to what we call the bayou.
chickens. I guess technically it's called the slack. So while their property may be undersized for what they want to do, they're not bothered, there's nobody for them to bother by the chickens being there. I mean, actually, I live technically right behind them.
Yeah, you were going to go over and get some eggs.
I was, but I didn't. But the other side is, I don't know that they even have chickens.
Which is it's good that, you can say that.
It is,
It's a good
because
right.
I think I'm pretty
Proves
sure.
the point.
Right. So, I think especially, at least in that situation, because this is a quality of life issue for the people that live around these houses. And I think if the neighbors don't have a problem with it, we need to take that into consideration.
Except if you do a case-by-case basis, who determines? It becomes very subjective by the person who has to make
It's gonna be the
that
Health Department
determination.
and the zoning officer.
Well, you should have.
You need to give them some objective
You
criteria.
need some
to
sort
work
of
with.
standard. The standard now is you can't have chickens unless you have an acre or more of property. If you use a standard and you want to say, we'll see what happens, you can just reduce it to half an acre and then it's over and done with. Or do you want to regulate it more extensively as in West Milford or total?
My suggestion is have the Board of Health
What
discuss it and come back with
what
suggestions.
I think Rich came up, or someone came up with a good suggestion. We can certainly send the West Milford ordinance and say we're thinking of 15 chickens per half acre, because I don't want to get in trouble with Abigail. 15 chickens per half acre, and this is the template that we're considering using. I would send it to the construction official too, because he may say, if there's coops, there are accessory structures, we don't want to really conflict with other provisions of the ordinance. That's the way I would look at it.
Right, and as, Eric, to your point, I think in West Milford, the reason that all of those officials are listed is because the regulations hit on health, they hit on zoning, they hit on construction. You have to comply with rear yard setbacks and the like, and that's enforced by the zoning officer. So I'll distribute this around to the health department and, the land use agencies as well and solicit their feedback, and we'll bring back any comments.
What do you do
Thanks,
with the
Rick.
waste management of chickens?
You can compost it,
Compost it.
or you can, turn it over in the soil and use it as fertilizer.
I think we need a chicken.
But it needs to be dried for a while.
Okay, with that, is there any new business?
Mayor, I just have one item, just to make council aware. At the next meeting, you'll see a couple of resolutions regarding open space. One is a conservation agreement with the Land Conservancy. As you know, they're putting up some of their own money towards the purchase of the homes on Roosevelt Boulevard. So this would affect two properties where they would handle the 25% match against the county's funding. So there's an agreement there for your consideration that we're going to be bringing up. And also, we'll be moving ahead with executing the new Green Acres grant project agreement as a planning incentive community. We typically get money every funding round, and this would execute the agreement for the latest funding round of $500,000. Okay. So that'll be coming up at the next meeting.
Okay.
Mayor?
Yes.
I have one thing I just want to bring up. I just want to build upon something that Councilman Levy brought up a couple months ago. What is the viability? Several people have approached me, and it's kind of been on Facebook also, to have the ability to have a couple dumpsters downtown to drop off. People can drop off their commingle and their paper, and in case they get backed up with, with the way the recycling
You
is.
brought that up?
Yes, I stole it from Franklin Lakes. They do it, and it's, they
Oh,
generate.
instead of,
No,
Or
it's
in
just
addition.
junction
Not
with.
necessarily, no. Franklin Lakes does it as an add-on to their recycling.
I misunderstood you. I
They-
thought it
yeah,
was,
They actually have
instead
a
of.
huge section of their DPW yard. They have a container for dumping electronics. They have a huge container for cardboard. They have another container there for dumping plastics. They have a book recycling facility there. And I have to tell you something. If you're getting paid by the ton for your recyclables, they've got to be scoring big, because every time, we bring sometimes my office recyclables there, and the dumpsters are empty quite often, but they are always full.
See, I misunderstood you. I thought it was in lieu of, but you're saying
No.
it's in addition to
No,
recycling.
I don't know if Franklin Lakes does what we do with dual stream, but their garbage pickup is the same as ours.
Yeah, they are dual stream on their curbside.
You know, because one of the potential byproducts of us going to dual stream is we may be losing tonnage at the end of the day. As people get frustrated or confused with when's paper or when's cardboard, when's plastic, you know, we may see a drop in our tonnage, and that's gonna be a problem for us. I know that we had talked about a $50,000 financial benefit from the recycling, but that's only if our tonnage stays the same. If we lose the tonnage, then we're gonna lose that revenue. And this might be a very good way to try and offset
So
or capture
would we
some
have to use
additional.
our recycling to get the dumpsters? Would we have to use the same company to bring the dumpster? Could you
Not
call Greg
necessarily.
Clark?
I can tell you that DPW has looked at the idea of a recycling depot in the past and ran into issues with space and things of that nature, but it's something we can take a look at again and see if the logistics work and how we can
Maybe
make
you
it
could call
work.
the Franklin Lakes Administrator, Greg Hart.
We have all those big rocks down by the river, why don't we just move those
Yeah, I don't know that we could put it down that close to
Mayor?
the
To be
waterway.
to be continued on that one.
Mayor, I was just, like I said, I just want to bring that up, but I was just wondering, just to take maybe baby steps here, maybe just take a look at just paper and,
Or garbage can or something.
and recycling glass and plastic. I mean, just to start there, let's see where it goes, and then if we have to expand accordingly, we can move into other
Well,
electronics.
what else is there besides books?
Well, I've been to the Franklin Lakes site, to take a look after Lou brought it to my
Oh,
attention.
electronics.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
they've
pretty
got a great
extensive.
setup.
And it's by the DPW.
Yeah.
When you pull into the police station, you just go past the police station down in the back,
Right,
and to the right of the gas pumps for or for their municipal vehicles,
Right.
right on the left, they have, like, as I said, they've got a 20-foot container, and they have a covered dumpster for the plastic, and they have an extremely large cardboard
well, I'm
container.
sure once we do it, it'll take a while for people to start thinking about it and doing that. But, Mr. Kunz, could you please, figure out how we could do this? Like I said, talk to Franklin Lakes, see if it's the same company.
I'll have a conversation with Anthony as well and Eugene.
I'm sure there's space, we could find space.
We'll see what we can do.
I'm sure there is. Anything else? Council committee reports. Who wants to start, which end? We should rotate.
Bobby wants to start.
Bobby wants to start? Okay.
Sure, why not? So, I'll be quick. I just want to announce that this week is the National Telecommunications and Information Administration is celebrating National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week, April 8th through April 14th. I'm just going to read one quick paragraph out of this. So April 8th through the 14th marks this year's National Public Safety Telecommunications Week, basically your dispatchers. When we take the time to appreciate and thank the dedicated professionals who staff thousands of 911 calls throughout the year, these devoted public servants work quietly on the front lines of emergencies, serving as the first of our first responders. So a lot of people take the dispatchers for granted, and they really need to appreciate the job they do. They are the first ones on the phone. I've been a dispatcher in Ramsey and here in Oakland many moons ago, but when that phone rings, and especially when the 911 phone rings, your heart rate definitely changes right out of the gate. And when there's somebody on the other end of the phone and they're standing over a relative or a person that has stopped breathing, and you have to talk him through that while you're also dispatching an ambulance and calling the paramedics, it's to say it's multitasking is an understatement. So I just wanted to bring up that this is their week of the year, and that everybody should appreciate the job they do. They're kind of like, I don't want to, they're like the unsung heroes, because they're the least paid on a police department, fire department, or emergency medical department, depending on your borough, and they're almost the most important. So kind of a slang word that we used to use at my old job for dispatch is the hub of the wheel. So if you really think about it, the hub of the wheel is the center, and all the spokes are the police department, fire department, the DPW, the ambulance corps. Everybody has something to do with that hub of the wheel. So that's all. Kudos to all you dispatchers out there. That's my report.
That's it?
That's it.
Well, thank you, Bob.
You're welcome, Lou.
Councilman?
Let's see, the Shade Tree Committee met last week and will be putting forth an Arbor Day program on April 27th, which is Arbor Day. I will have more on that on at our next meeting. Met with the Flood Commission on Monday. We actually have 2 members who will be retiring this year. And we have another member, Gina Steele, who's actually will probably be resigning at some point. She's going to be moving out of town. So if anybody has any interest in being on the Flood Commission, working with the town to help lower insurance costs for flood insurance for residents, environmental issues with the river and whatnot, you're welcome to please join up and sign up. It's a commission that I actually chaired for, 14 years, and we certainly got a lot of things accomplished. So it is very worthwhile, and I know that the commission would love to have you. And I guess Station Park will be our next meeting. Council meeting will be able to report on Station Park.
Thank you.
Next Tuesday night.
Next Tuesday.
Councilman?
Thank you, Mayor. With the Environmental Commission, I have some dates I'd like to announce. If you have a piece of paper, it would be well worth writing these down. It's for Hazardous Waste Disposal Day. That means you can bring any old paint cans, old oil, old pesticide, insecticides, anything that's deemed hazardous waste. You can bring it for proper disposal at these times and dates and locations. First going to be at Bergen Community College this Saturday, the 15th. Bergen Community College again, June the 24th, which is a Sunday. October the 14th, which is also a Sunday. In Mawa at Camp Gaw, it's going to be Saturday, May 12th, Saturday, May 21st. I can't believe this. It's a Friday, September 8th, I guess. I guess it's the correct date, but it seems strange it's on a Friday. But anyway, if you have hazardous waste, this is the place to dispose of it. Not in your garbage can, not down some storm sewer. Bring it to these places. You're in and out really quick. They have a lot of people there to work to take the waste. From the Environmental Commission, will be spreading wood chips at Stewart's Woods soon.
Oh, that's what the load is?
Yeah. Eric, which free company gave it to us?
Vanderbeck.
Vanderbeck.
2 files, and I think that's this Saturday at 9. Right?
This Saturday at 9, if you have a wheelbarrow and a shovel and you'd like to help, please come down. Also, Mayor had mentioned cleanup on the 21st at Great Oak Park, right?
All the parks.
All the parks. Okay, all the parks. Okay.
Meeting at Valley Middle School.
Right. And at the Environmental Commission, we also spoke about the park, Sandy Beach Park, which I believe someone will be speaking at the next our open session concerning Sandy Beach property. But that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman?
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
Can you read?
Yes, I can. Mayor's
He had eye
recovering.
surgery.
I had surgery yesterday in my eye, and I'm all good. I didn't wear a tie tonight because I was not supposed to put any pressure up here, so the tie is loose tie. I'm not supposed to pick up anything more than 5 pounds, and no housework, they told me. So,
That's my excuse for not wearing a tie.
Anyway, on the DPW, let me start with my seniors. April 24th, having a party, so as the mayor mentioned before, celebrating Anthony Chisano being voted the Goodwill Ambassador for the Senior Center. And at the same time, we're also celebrating the 103rd birthday of Josephine Berkowitz. It's amazing. And she's the best card player down at the senior center.
They say that.
Art exhibit, April 5th to the 29th, but on Saturday at 1 o'clock, there's going to be a reception. And one of our seniors, Jerry Bird, has 31 paintings on display at the library. And the senior club meeting is tomorrow at 12 o'clock. Historical and cultural, Rich and I will be meeting with Margaret Hickey at 2 p.m. on Friday. Is that still on, Rich? I guess it is.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay, and DPW, I want to say thank you to Anthony and Sue at the DPW office who submitted the 2018 LED street lighting installation. All the locations that we picked out have been sent to Orange Rockland. So in the next several months, as soon as they get rid of their storm cleanup, we'll be seeing new LED streetlights throughout the town again. And hopefully we'll get some more streetlights through the efforts of Marlene Casey, which will be a great input to the safety driving around town. And I hear stories about people, if you're walking at night, wear some light clothing. Do not walk around with dark black slacks, black top. Drivers don't see you until the headlights hit you. So wear some light clothing when you're out in the street. And I believe that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Councilman.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a library meeting today. Good news. Within the last 2 weeks, the ceiling grid has been put up at the library. The lobby floor has been completed. I'm sure everybody was aware the library was closed for 3 days last week. The storefront glass has been installed down in the makerspace where the kids area is going to be in a lower level. Looking at 2 weeks out, they're going to finish the lighting and electrical work. We're going to see the first coat of paint going up, so they're really getting down to the home stretch here. The stonework has been completed outside, and the front doors are going to be closed as we're going to be redoing the vestibule doors and flooring. So the library will be making arrangements for alternate entrance for a few days while that work gets done. And also, speaking to Councilman Bialy, they are also looking at all the HVAC controls and systems as well toward the completion of this job as well. Communications, we had a wonderful meeting with our new chairman, Ryan. Ryan really set the tone of how he wants to see the commission being run. And one of the big initiatives going forward to this year is going to be Twitter. So not only do we now have the new website, we've got Facebook. We're also looking to incorporate Twitter so we can keep pushing information out to the residents at large. Also, we desperately need volunteers. If anybody's interested in getting involved with the television and doing the cable casting of the council meetings, if we don't have volunteers, there's a good possibility the council or the public will be missing meetings. So we really need volunteers. And please come down. Reach out to Fred Burks. Be more than happy to train you. It's actually a lot of fun, being able to put these programs on. And also for water and sewer, we have the next water and sewer meeting. It's going to be April 20th. That's a Friday at 8:30 a.m. at Borough Hall. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilman?
Thank you. Public events, just once again, I'd like to ask everyone if you could volunteer, give us some time at the public events. We could always use a new member. It's a great committee. If you go to any events in town, public events seems to have their hand in a little bit of everything. And then I just want to reiterate what the mayor had said about Chopper. He puts out those flyers. He doesn't have to put our dates on there. And the last event was a double folder. It costs more than a normal one. And really, Chopper, thank you for all you do. It's really nice, and it's something that you don't have to do. And thank you. Also with public events, I was unable to attend the meeting on Monday, but from what I understand, they were going over the Easter egg event. They were just what went wrong, what went right. So already they're starting. It's a year away. They're working on the Easter egg hunt.
I heard there's going to be a surprise.
All right, I wasn't at the meeting.
No, they said that at the Easter egg hunt for next year.
Yeah. So, but like I said, they work hard, and then they're working on the parade now, and they'll help out with the cleanup effort. They'll be there, and That's it for public events. And then schools, the spring break got cut short, so back to school tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Yeah. And that's it, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now, motion to open to the public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
This is it.
Eric?
You've been sitting here patiently.
Fine.
Oh.
I think these gentlemen are here to say something, so.
Oh, do you want to say something?
Huh?
You could all come up together.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
You have to give your name and address. even though we
My
know
name's
you.
Eric Cam, 9 Greenway. Very positive meeting tonight. It was nice with the Sikh ceremony and the
It was.
promotion ceremony. Just on the Sandy Beach property, I'm a little concerned that nothing's happening yet. We were here a month ago and the seller hasn't heard from anybody yet. So I'm just offering my help if I can do anything, if you want me to, maybe you want to appoint somebody, a task force.
Do you want to say something? I can't say anything.
You can't say anything.
I can't say anything, but he can.
Someone from the council will be reaching out. There was discussion this evening about Sandy Beach, so there will be direct communication from an appointed individual so that there can be further communication.
Okay. If there's anything I can do to help, I'm happy to help. We've gone pretty far with it at this point. It's such a home run project, I'd hate to see it stop because of timing and money.
We understand.
Okay, great.
Oh, no, we're very on top of this.
Any questions for me at this point?
Anybody have any questions?
Okay, thank you.
No, thank you. Oh, so you do want to speak?
Listen, I don't like to speak, but here to support. I'm glad to see there's Steve Saliani.
Oh, you have to give your name and address.
Stephen Saliani, 5 Saratoga Drive, also the Vice Chair of the Recreation Commission. We're here to support Eric, and the Recreation is fully behind his initiative with Sandy Beach.
Yes.
So if there's anything we can do to help push along,
So
we're
wait.
here to support that.
What are the programs that you'd be able to offer? Yeah, I understand maybe lacrosse, soccer.
Yeah, well, one, it's from a community standpoint, right? You create a community standpoint. We can put fields, soccer fields, you can put lacrosse fields, but also you have a community standpoint using the actual Legacy Factory. You can use it as basketball and other indoor sports. But even when you talk with other people in the town, it creates a sense of community. I'd say it's comparable to the walking path. Once you put the walking path around the track, families come to practice. There's one child's practice, and they use the facilities. They walk around the track. This is the same type of concept, where it's a place for the people in the community to go, and it's all Oakland focused.
Well, Mike knows my dream, to have the walking path
Because-
along the river from the Great Oak Park to the
Right.
rec field.
Because now for soccer, you have to use the outfields of 2 baseball fields or something?
Yeah, what we have to monopolize other sports just because of field availability. This creates more availability for kids to play multiple sports, and also we can have people playing certain sports more. We can also use the field space for other sports that we don't have space for, above and beyond baseball, soccer. We want to introduce new sports now. It creates more space for that as well.
And I think lacrosse is one of them.
Well, we would love to be able to start housing lacrosse. Yes.
And yeah, okay. Thank you.
Mike Guadino, 34 Harper Street. I'd also like to talk about the Sandy Beach property. One thing, when we first started doing Great Oak Park, we talked about creating a central park for Oakland. That was way back in 2011, 2012. Since that time, we have the Great Oak Park project. It's really getting close to being completed. I mean, you may not realize it because there's stuff going on behind the scenes, but it's really getting close to being completed.
So what you're saying is you need another project?
I need another project. Yeah. I have no kids at home next year, so I need some more things to do. No, the thing with Sandy Beach, well, talking about Central Park, that was the idea of what's going on in New York. I've also, when I've been working on it, on this project, as long as the rest of the committee, we look at other places and what they're doing and what they're doing with green space. One thing, again, staying with Central Park in New York City, what they've been doing is they've been reclaiming green space. Old piers are turning into parks. They're taking old buildings and turning those into indoor centers. They're preserving green space, open space, and doing it while allowing people to enjoy it while still protecting it. So as we talked about the fields, right now there's just a clear field there. We could turn that into a soccer field, lacrosse field. It could be used for other things for the town. They want to have like the Indian or Native American
The powwow?
Powwow, that's it. But there are things we can do with this fields. We can use them now. The lacrosse, we actually have to go and play our programs in Franklin Lakes, so we just don't have fields for it. We put this here, then we now have the access to a field. We have that building, as Steve was talking, the Legacy building. We can, we spend a lot of individual monies going to indoor facilities to practice, indoor cages, soccer facilities, football, indoor facilities. If we have that aspect here in Oakland, we don't have to spend that anymore. And we're hoping, obviously, to use the grants, and hopefully we can find some other grants, maybe match it. But I think this is a great project. Recreation is behind this, and so I thought that you know that.
Great, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
I'd just like to say on the Environmental Commission, a fact that I just heard the other night from Lee Hammond, and we should be proud. I'm very proud of this. Oakland, 30% of Oakland's space is open space, is green space. 30% of all the property here in Oakland.
30%?
And that's what Lee Hammond said, 30%.
30%?
Including the mountains, yes.
Including the
Oakland Mountains.
Yes.
We have more open space in Oakland than any other town in Bergen County.
Yeah, and it's really something to be proud of, that
Good thing for the mountains.
for future generations, this space is preserved forever. I mean, there's not going to be any cement and blacktop in these areas, but, we're very fortunate here in Oakland. And this is, and Sandy Beach is that open, I mean, it's level. Obviously you have to do work to get it together, but it's clear, it's level. It's a prime opportunity for us to increase our recreation and the building. It really is a historic building. It's been there a long, long time. I heard it's been used as a dance hall.
We just found out that it was a dance hall.
And a bar.
Picture up there.
No, Bobby Knapp told us it was a dance hall.
But thank you, Aaron. Thank both of you for coming tonight.
Say a few words also, if we're not done.
Come speak up. No, this is the public portion.
Another
Then you'll
family
laugh.
member.
I'm Dieter Kam at 8 Hopi Court, and I'd like to speak with respect to the Sandy Beach opportunity. I was able to watch the video, and I watched the presentation by Nancy Krause and by Eric Kam, and I'm here to just give you my opinion as a longtime resident. So I've been here since 1969. I left for 21 years, but I came back to raise my 4 children, and I listened to the presentation. I'm asking questions. I've been hearing about this from Eric, and I think right now this is a tremendous opportunity for us to grab this land. And there's a saying that they ain't making any more of this. This is prime real estate, and it's so important to grab this for the borough and to acquire this so that it's open space for generations to come.
Let me just say, it hasn't been ignored, and it hasn't been just sitting still.
Okay,
There's a lot of work that's going on behind the scenes.
Right, and it was hard to gauge any kind of reaction from the
Right, because I
videotape.
was told them not to speak.
I didn't know if it was positive on your end or if there were
No.
any objections.
Our attorney told me not to speak.
Okay.
But we
Okay,
are
good.
speaking back there.
Well, that's good to hear then, because that's, like I said, it was very difficult to gauge any kind of reaction. I came here tonight just to give my opinion so that you would all know, a longtime resident, how I feel about this. And I think I've been talking to many other residents too, and unfortunately,
Well,
they don't
many
come-
of us are longtime residents, so
Okay.
yes, we all feel the same.
So I think I can speak on behalf of many people. And with respect to the uses for this, once we get it, I think the obvious use is it's just a connection with the Great Oak Park and the rec field. It's that whole corridor in there. And as a young kid, I used to play down there all the time and go swimming in the river and run through there. And it's a beautiful piece of property, but there's also the application for recreation use. And there'll be much discussion about what it can be used for, but I think that there's one glaring opportunity right now, and that is for lacrosse. And I've had 3 kids now go through the lacrosse program. I will not be a beneficiary of this in the years to come.
Also, right
because
now, lacrosse is in Franklin Lakes?
it's in Franklin Lakes. We latch on to Franklin Lakes, and we'd be better served if we had our own team. If we could represent.
That seems to be a growing sport.
Oh, yeah.
It is a growing sport, and that's the reason why. I think it was okay to incubate it under another town.
Right.
But I can tell you now, the numbers will be able to support a program for lacrosse. The coaches, for sure. More than half of the coaches each year for the girls and the boys are coming from Oakland. So we have a good core of coaches. We've got a growing core of kids that will play, both girls and boys.
And I'm a baseball guy growing up. We didn't have lacrosse growing up here in Oakland. So it's just relatively new to the area. It was in other pockets of the country, but not in this area. But it's an amazing opportunity because the kids are able to use this in high school. It's becoming more and more important in high school. It's a disproportionate amount of scholarships are going out to lacrosse right now. More D1 scholarships have been awarded from lacrosse than I think all other sports combined in the history of Indian Hills. It's amazing how many scholarships are coming and opportunities to play at the college level. So it's a good sport, and like I said, there'll be more discussion on how to use the land, but I can tell you there will be a demand for lacrosse, and it could be what we need to make that program take off.
I mean, I'd just like to add one more thing. I can't say too much about this upcoming meeting that we hope to have with the property owner. I think it's going to answer a lot of questions.
No, let's stop right there.
Just
Okay,
answer a lot of
thank you.
questions.
Okay, thanks for listening, appreciate it.
Oh, you didn't speak? Do you want to speak before we close?
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll entertain a motion to close.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Bills to be paid, Councilman Pignatello.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Bills to be paid, $538,400.29. So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilman Bialy?
Yes.
Councilman Knapp?
Yes.
Councilman Kamala?
Yes.
Councilman Levy?
Yes.
Councilman Pignatelli?
Yes.
Councilman Talamini?
Yes.
Motion to
So
adjourn.
moved. So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next meeting will be April 25th, right here, Council Chambers. Good night.
Bad time, same bad channel.
I wasn't going to say too much.
I know. Welcome to the party.
She's in the audience.